Hey film fans, my name is David. This is Film Collector Archive, and today we are going to be discussing the new 4K limited edition release of The Green Knight. A24 is continuing down this path of releasing these limited, I guess they call them collector's editions, but these limited edition sets for their films. So of course we've seen this from Midsummer, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. We've had some digipack releases of like Marcel the Shell, and they've got a few others in there as well. I'm liking the trend that we're seeing from A24 of producing these types of editions. A24 is one of those studios where I'm kind of hit and miss a little bit, but man, when I see an A24 film that I like, it tends to be that I love the film. Not I'm never kind of middle of the road with A24. It's either I'm all in on it or it's just a big miss for me. So there's definitely some other films in their library that I would like to see receive this treatment. For me, that would namely be Lady Bird, The Farewell, mid-90s I think would be great, and then absolutely Minari, which is one of my favorite first-time watches over this past year. Anyways, so we have the Green Knight here. So this did receive a kind of a standard 4K and Blu-ray release. That's the copy that I had on my shelf. I've seen the film multiple times, and that's the edition that I've been watching from, is that the 4K regular slipcover edition. But when they announced this, I knew that this was an edition that I had to have on my shelf. So as is the case with these videos, these unboxed videos, what we're going to do is switch to the overhead camera so that we can get the set unboxed, so that you can be informed on whether or not this is a purchase that you'd like to make for your collection. So we'll go ahead and switch over to that camera right now. Okay, we've got a lot of glare here, but here is the set for the Green Knight. I will go ahead and remove the shrink wrap here so we can obviously have a much better, much clearer look at the set here. Alright, set that shrink wrap aside, and there we have, let me get that all the way in frame there. So we have The Green Knight, a film by David Lowery. This is a very nice textured cover here. You can see I don't know if you can kind of make that out on camera there, but it is very textured. And then the font, or the text on here, has a slightly debossed, little bit of a glossy finish there, but much the same texture. So really cool looking cover there. And then if you go to the spine, you have, of course, the name of the film there in the same font. And then the back here, of course, if you want to pause at any time and read over any of the details, you can do that. And then going here, we actually don't have the name of the film, but rather the name of the studio, A24. And then we'll pull this out and set the outer cover aside there, and you can see we are graded here. Got a little bit of some kind of sticky residue on the back here. All right. Okay, so we're graded here with a very striking black and yellow, or yellow and black. Kind of an orangish yellow actually, but really nice looking color here, with this graphic kind of depiction of the opening scene. This represents the opening scene. If you haven't seen the film, this depicts the opening, and Interestingly, here on the back, we have what would be the close of the film. So good choices on graphics they used here, and love the overall design. Very artistic renderings here. All right, so we'll go ahead and open this up. All right, so here, in fact, I'll move our outer case is a little bit in the way there. So on the inside, so obviously we have our disc here, and I have to say the disc art here is very striking, very beautiful. This set already has the feel to me of the A24 collector's set for Midsummer. Just kind of the design language here on the disc, and kind of has that feel. If you've seen that set, let me know if you agree with me down in the comments. It's got kind of that same design language. So here we have, of course, the book here. Disc contents, so we have The Green Knight with a runtime of 130 minutes. The film is from 2021. And then we have Oakthorn and the Old Rose of Love, short film by David Lowery from 2022. That's interesting. I actually haven't seen that film. There's a director's commentary with David Lowery, deleted scenes, and Quest for Honor RPG spot. All right, and then disc contents continued here. You can see we have some featurettes. I'll let you read over that so we don't have to go over everything in this, or have me kind of recite everything throughout this book. But a very nice program here from A24 on these featurettes that are included. I love the big bold page numbers on here as well. Very nice. Kind of a transition, a couple pages here. Now we have book contents. So here we have an excerpt from Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, translated by Bernard Donahue, annotated by David Lowery. Screenplay excerpt, very cool. The Green Knight's Challenge. Costume design sketches by Malgosia Trzanska. 3 illustrations throughout by Sophie Hollington. All right, so here's Sir Gawain and the Green Knight excerpt, again translated by Bernard Donahue and annotated by David Lowery. So very nice. I love the presentation here with the red font with the annotations here on the side, and then you have the number markings throughout, so that refer, of course, to the annotations here. And that continues through. Very nice texture on the pages. I really like the paper stock that's used here. It feels really nice. And then you do have the stitching in the book here with the blue stitching or thread there. All right, and then we transition out of that into the Green Knight's Challenge. So you can read that as well. And this again is what opens the film. This is kind of what sets us on our journey, is the challenge of the Green Knight. Continued there. And then we jump into the costume design sketches by Malgosia Trzanska. Again, beautiful illustrations here as noted. So here we have the costume sketches. Some very nice watercolor pieces featured here. Costume design is definitely one of those things that's very integral to the kind of visual language of the films we watch, but sometimes we do overlook the intense process that's involved with costume design, and I certainly respect the work that they do. From the artistic renderings of what they want to happen to actually going and sourcing the fabrics and the materials, and I mean it's a crazy process. So a lot of sketches included here. This is really great. And then kind of some notes throughout, kind of scribbled on the drawings. All right, and then we have the slipcase and booklet illustrations, just some credits here, and art direction and design, actual source. Be interesting to see what if there's any other pieces that have been done through that company, because this is really well put together. And then we have this very nice image here on the back, which of course matches what's on the very back of the book, but we have a little bit of a different kind of color variation here. And then that brings us again to the back of the book. So very, very nice. There's a look at the, if I can get that in frame there, there's a look at the kind of overall binding. And then on the bottom, but yeah, very beautiful looking set here. And then, of course, that goes neatly back into the slipcase. So really great presentation here from A24 on what I think is a visually just an absolutely spectacular film. If you have not seen The Green Knight, this is one that I would recommend. I would give a hearty recommendation to The Green Knight. While it still is just naturally not going to be for everybody, I think it's worth the price of admission on this one just for the visuals, because it is so striking. I mean, right out the gates, and this is one that I think, now I haven't seen the Blu-ray disc. I've only seen it on disc, on the 4K disc. This is one that I would imagine, if you have the capability, that you definitely want to go 4K on, just because really the high point here is just the visuals. You know, the story of course is interesting, but just visually it's one of the better films of, I would say, even the last decade. This one really jumps out to me, and I think is worth the price of admission just for that. So very happy with what A24 has given us here, and I do hope that they continue with this style of collector's set. I think they're doing great work, and very happy to have this in the collection from A24 for David Lowery's The Green Knight. Thanks for stopping by the channel today to watch this video. I do hope that you found that helpful on informing you, again, whether this is an addition that you want to bring into your collection. I love the work that A24 is doing. I think this is a really beautiful edition that they've produced here, and very happy to have it on the shelf. Let me know down in the comments if you've seen The Green Knight, what your thoughts are on the film, and whether or not you'll be picking up this particular edition. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you like to talk all things film, film collecting, that type of thing, I invite you to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and finally the bell icon, as that will notify you when I upload new videos in the future. And until next time, I hope you're able to watch a lot of great films.